All right, everyone, welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is the 2023 Beaver State Fling. This is round 2 action. I'm your host, Nate Perkins, and I'm joined here today with my good friend Ella Hansen. How was it out there, Ella?
It was a beautiful day out there. Just honestly, the perfect Oregon weather. Could not have asked for anything better. And we're excited to look at this lead card. Holland Handley shot the hot round on day 1, 7 down, but Maria, Jen, and Rebecca all one stroke, respectively to each other. So definitely going to be some tight action here in our round 2. And this is hole 1 of the Beaver State Fling Gold layout at Milo McIver State Park. It's a 345-foot par 3. It plays to a really long forehand for most of the FPO players, or a flex or turnover backhand shot. This isn't the most difficult hole, but it definitely takes a good rip to get a birdie, especially on the first tee, bringing a little bit of the nerves into play as well.
Put your hands together for Holland Handley.
I'm a little surprised to see Holland throwing a backhand here. She, in my opinion, is the furthest forehand thrower in the FPO division, and this is well within her wheelhouse, but, she's going with what she's more comfortable with.
Yeah, I'll second that, Ella. I think she is the furthest throwing forehand player, and I'm pretty surprised. I think this hole shapes up pretty well.
Sponsored by ThoughtSpace.
Yeah,
Give it up for Maria
Oliva.
And that was a vulture that Holland threw off the tee and just didn't quite get it to break over at the top of its flight. And Maria's going to be throwing a Dynasty here, this 9-speed, slightly understable mold from Infinite.
And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Holland throw that vulture a lot. That's her Tour Series disc, and she loves it. She relies on it pretty heavily on pretty much every course.
Throwing Innova plastic. Put your hands together for Jennifer Allen.
I believe Jennifer is 42 years old.
Yeah.
She's the mother of 2 children, works full-time, and still is able to travel across the country and compete at the highest level. How impressive is that?
Yeah, very impressive. And getting inside, looks like inside the bullseye on that first drive. I think she mentioned, I played with her yesterday, and I think she mentioned that she quit her job. So she's not working full-time anymore. She's touring mostly full-time, and obviously parenting and being an adult, but still really impressive seeing her out here crushing.
And Rebecca is throwing a VIP bear. I'm actually not very familiar with this mold, Ella. Do you know what's up with the bear?
My friend Raven throws it occasionally. As far as I know, to compare to the discs I know, it's kind of similar to like a Discmania Essence. So like 8 or 9 speed, kind of flippy, but has some finish at the end. And Rebecca has historically played pretty well, at least in recent years at Beaver State Fling, I think. So not surprising to see her back out here.
That's a good looking bid from Circle 2. Yeah, anytime that you're in, this is basically a rainforest up here where we're at, and we've been blessed with 3 crystal clear blue skies. It just feels so special to be in a place where there's moss covering every inch of the trees, and we got bald eagles flying over the tee pad of hole 1 today. And we got Jen and Alan T-Birds finding their way through the trees.
Wow, that was a T-bird. Oh, all right. I could see it. So Jen snagging a birdie. Rest of the card getting threes. Only 3 birdies on the day. Jen, Karina Knowles, and Sai Ananda. Hole 2. Getting our round kicked off with a big par 5 early in the round. 805 feet. Pretty slow turning right-hand hole. It's really a challenging hole, but you can kind of really stick to your strengths here and throw backhand, forehand, roller, whatever kind of shot you're most comfortable with, you absolutely can get the birdie with. And it is in the eagleable range, especially for someone like Jen, who can really get a lot of distance. The only thing to really be worried about is the out of bounds over the fence on the right. There is no out of bounds on the left side, even though there is a path there.
Jen going destroyer off the tee. A little low, but plenty of distance. Holland's actually going fierce off the tee here.
Yeah, it was. I asked her what she was throwing off the tee here, and she's going with the putter. I think that's a interesting play, but yeah, like I said, it's a gettable eagle, but if you just want to play for a 4, I know Holland's got the distance to even throw 3 putters and potentially get there.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that might be the only putter thrown off the tee on a par 5 by any player all year.
I think that's possible. Hey, I don't know. Paige might throw her fierce at some point on a par 5.
Let me know which hole and where, guys, in the comments if you can, because it's really rare to see a putter off the tee of a par 5, but she threw it well.
I think it's pretty interesting having a player like Holland. This is her first time ever playing at Milo, and I think players who have been playing for years might kind of know what a traditional shot may be, and that might just be a big backhand or even a roller on this hole. And a player like Holland is just trying to figure out what suits her game the most and not necessarily throwing what may be seen as the traditional shot. That looks a little too turned over.
Oh, it holds on.
Wow. Flirting with the out of bounds there on the right. Looks nice for Holland.
Terry, just shoot that disc. Yeah, this approach is laden with low ceiling branches and can be tough to access this green from that 300-foot mark.
That looks great. Holland having to go to a standstill. I believe that was a zone. Just pitching up inside the circle. Jen going to a forehand. I know on day 1 she threw quite a few, especially for her, forehand approaches, and we're already seeing another one from her.
Blitz the uprights.
Oh, man.
Gets the ban from 55. Oh, and she's cheesing. Little smile. And that's kind of been a range that Jennifer has struggled with throughout her career.
Mm-hmm.
Quality birdie there from Holland. Rebecca's changed her delivery quite a bit, but she still can't help but have that just super steep nose down.
Yeah.
But
That is definitely her go-to. I think as a flat putter, it kind of stresses me out to watch, but when she's on, she certainly is on. I gotta give a shout out to Cat Merch grabbing an eagle, tap-in eagle today on hole 2.
wow, because she had a putt for eagle yesterday here on the coverage, so
Absolutely
that's
shredding
amazing
it.
to repeat those shots.
Hole 3 is a par 3, 304 feet, slightly uphill off the tee and finishing up on the top of this mound. Fairly wide fairway for Milo McIver, but really need to control your speed, control your approach into this green. Really can throw a backhand, forehand, any type of shot you're most comfortable with. I think that was a buzz for Holland.
Yep, it was her glow buzz. Jen going Halo Rock 3.
Wow. That's
Oh,
pretty perfect.
that's kind of the shape that you're going to need out here throughout the rest of the round.
Yeah, she throws that disc really well.
And Maria is throwing a disc called a Vodum.
She's throwing it real good.
I'm actually not too familiar. Looked like a somewhat stable fairway driver. Is that Thought Space?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I'm also not super familiar with their lineup. We
It
see
used to be decent at this, Ella, and now there's
so many discs.
102 disc manufacturers. And it can
There
be tough to
really
keep
are.
up.
There really are.
I won't give up, though.
Yeah, gotta keep trying. So, bit of a tough spot there for Holland overturning that, but looks like she gets out to a good spot. And just laying it up for Rebecca. This is a pretty scary green.
Yeah, it's funny how subtle of a hill it is, and yet you'll see people lay it up because they just don't want that kind of tester putt early in the round.
Absolutely.
And Maria cards a quality birdie there from 20 feet.
Good save for Holland. And tap in birdie for Jen. Lead card starting out pretty hot in this round 2 at Beaver State Fling.
Ooh, we got a new drone shot today, even higher above the rapids of the Clackamas, and Holland Handley leading the way.
Katrina Allen! Maria Oliva! She's done it! Kristen Tatar!
Side, Ananda. Macy Galadia.
Champion Oakland and Austin!
Paige Pierce.
By investing in real estate, you're opening the door for generational wealth for you and your loved ones. Contact me, Matthew Bailey, to get started today.
Hole 4 at Milo Gold is a par 3, 300 feet. New basket, new pin position for the FPO. Playing down this gap to the left, there is also a right-hand backhand hyzer route kind of through the gap to the MPO basket. And there's some out of bounds long left of this basket, right around the edge of the circle. Makes you think just a little bit more about your speed control coming into the green.
Jen actually going Firebird here, playing the hyzer skip and gets the skip. Grass is thick, but it's dried out just enough that the skips are kind of in play this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And super well executed for Jen. That looks a little low for Maria.
Holland going Raptor here, forehand line. Just needs to throw it a little flat for just the briefest moment.
Just a little inside, but should still have something. A little run at the basket. Looks nice for Rebecca.
Rebecca throwing the Sergeant there. She's also playing that skip. Didn't get quite as much edge as Jen.
I was pretty surprised to see how many players are going for that right side gap. You know, we see Jen execute that skip shot really well, but it's not a 100% kind of shot. Rebecca gets herself on the board with a birdie.
You know, that's actually that distance where sometimes we see her opting to go with the turbo putt.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll bust that out today.
I bet we will see it. I bet we will.
She's 3 under through 4. She is now tied for the lead.
Hole 5 is a par 4, 635 feet. Have to choose whether to go left or right of that first gap, and this patch on the left side is out of bounds. You really want to get your drive to the left side of the fairway so you have the best angle into the screen, which is 90 degrees, if not more, turn to the fairway. There is out of bounds long behind this basket, so you have to be very cautious about your speed control. That corner is kind of blind on the approach, and it's hard to tell exactly where you need to throw it sometimes.
That's a committed destroyer shot right there. Jen gives herself a little nod of approval.
Oh, Rebecca doesn't quite get the turn, and that's out of bounds. Definitely the risk of going with that left side flex is if you don't put enough power on it, you are pretty likely to be going out of bounds.
Maria getting that Wraith to hold over. Maybe just a bit too much. Might have closed her angle off a bit. Wait. Oh, and she had the good shape there. Oh, it does get the out of bounds. They can't really get up and down from right there, can they, Ella?
Not really. I mean, we'll see Holland going for it. Like I said earlier, she's got a lot of forehand power, but it looks like she's just trying to get as far down as she can, give herself a good angle into the green. She made an 85-footer on this hole for birdie yesterday, so she's got herself maybe a chance at saving par. Oh, wow. It's safe. Maria says, yeah. That might be like 100 feet past the gap, but she'll have an angle, good angle into the green.
Rare forehand from Jen.
Wow. Works out. Gets right around to the edge of the circle. Nice shot for Rebecca.
Oh, you called it, Ella. 100 feet past the gap, but well played. Gave herself the angle.
And if you're laying up for the or playing for the par on this one, it's not bad to go long as long as you're not long and right.
Here's Jen to go 4 through 5.
Oh, man. She's still going to be grabbing another stroke on Holland, though, and that out-of-bounds stroke. And like she's taking the lead.
Bit of a rare circle 1 miss there for Maria.
Whoa.
It was so steep that it
my
just
gosh.
like continued onward.
And that's kind of Rebecca's miss. She's, like you said earlier, that really nose down putt, and especially when the nerves get high, it can be a challenge for her as well. So here, there, called it. There's the turbo. I bet we'll see at least 4 or 5 more of those this round. Hole 6 at Milo. We've got a par 3, 245 feet down this tunnel and finishing to the right. There is kind of this short gap that you see to the inside and then more of a wide gap. That short gap isn't necessarily one you're going for, but you might be able to hit it with a backhand if you turn it over a little too early. But most players looking to kind of throw a stable forehand straight out the gap, let it finish, or something straight to flippy right down this tunnel. Little strong for Jen, but executes well, gives herself a chance for a birdie.
A little pause and fire there from Rebecca, and just gets the last bush right there. I like that slow draw that she had on that forehand.
Mm-hmm.
And Maria is flicking a dynasty. That takes quite a bit of touch, and she's in the circle.
Yeah, very well executed. Is Holland throwing a zone here?
Yeah, she is throwing zone. Wow.
And she's parking it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Rebecca having to go with a scramble.
That was crafty.
Tomahawk
Was
roller.
that tomahawk and then it rolled out somehow?
Yeah.
And Jen's had a putt on every hole.
She is throwing the disc very well to start this round. Good scramble for Rebecca. Can't believe she threw a dynasty. Two birdies, two pars for the lead card. And Holland getting right back in there after losing a stroke to Jen. Ties for the lead again. Maria just one stroke back of the two of them. Hole 7, one of the toughest holes on this course. Par 4, 630 feet. Gotta hit this gap and get yourself in position. Don't want to be too far left, too far right. Getting out onto this little patch of grass is amazing. And then approach shot coming over this road. This little guardian tree on the right can really eat up some discs. And yeah, this is a straightforward hole, but has taken some big numbers.
Yeah, that road has eaten quite a few discs and been the source of a lot of bogeys, and that is primetime position there for Maria.
That was so good. You couldn't have placed it any better.
That was a wraith off the tee. Holland going vulture here.
That looks a little too inside. Oh man, and that is a rough kick for Holland.
Jen going destroyer. Has that one just a bit too turned, but it finds a way.
Yeah, gets through to the front side. That will definitely be open to attack the green on the second shot. And Rebecca a little too low. There is, like a lot of other holes, but there is a low ceiling on this one. Off the tee. Getting into a good open position there on the second shot, though. Is that the road there?
Whoa. She's in a tough spot. She might have gone just a hair too far.
Jen going standstill.
Standstill destroyer here. This looks so good.
That looks amazing. Just past the tree. Wow.
She is having herself around, Ella. Wow.
Standstill.
Standstill destroyer.
I mean, she must have been kind of close to that tree behind her, but
Or just like weird
my
footing or
goodness, that was an amazing shot.
Mm.
And Maria getting across the road, not all the way down there, but certainly safe. Rebecca does not love it.
And she just pulled that verdict just a hair. Sneaks past the tree though.
Looks like Colin didn't get too far out of position. Giving herself a putt for par. Drop down. Oh man.
Man, that thing just falls like a brick sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it was online and then it just
Yep.
dropped. Just doesn't have, it's just not spinning as much as it seems, and it's not flying. She really has that kind of pitch at the pin.
Yep.
And if she doesn't give it the height, it just is not going to glide into the chains.
And that'll be a bogey for Holland, so we must have missed pitch out stroke, but good putt there for her. Here's Maria with her comebacker for par. I'm surprised to see Jen going with the regular putt as opposed to the turbo there, but gets her tap in birdie nonetheless. And a 4 down through 7 start for Jen. Moving on to hole 8, par 4, 630 feet. It's going to be a big righty backhand hyzer off the tee. Really wanting to get down onto this downslope or even past onto this flat part of the fairway. And entering in my opinion, prettiest green in disc golf. Over the bridge. No water in the creek right now, but basket up on the stump. Just a beautiful hole.
Go around it, go around it, go around it, baby.
Jen going with a destroyer. And pushing a little too inside. She's trying to get a lot of distance off that tee shot.
We're going Emperor here. Not quite enough. That tree stops so many shots.
Yes, it does. That's looking nice for Holland, playing it out wider and getting around the corner. She'll be on the left side, but she should have a hyzer up into the green.
Yeah, she's actually going vulture on that hyzer as well.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me.
Rebecca going with the grace there. That's well thrown. She's on the 350 side of things. This is probably also close to that 350-foot range.
Nice.
Looking at
Nice
that back door.
flip up and yeah, into the green. Nice shot there from Jen. That looks great for Rebecca. Catching one little bush there.
This card's on a roll right now. Oh no.
Oh
that
man.
did not just happen.
That is brutal. Jinx or Nate?
I don't know what just happened. The word choice and timing of Maria's roll away are too much right now.
She's able
After
to
a-
can the comebacker at least. Good putt from Holland.
And all those approaches though were just memorable.
Absolutely. And not, none of those tee shots were in particularly great position, so
Rebecca hangs on to the last link on the right side, and I thought we might see the turbo Ella. She's going with her normal
I think she might be
putt.
just outside turbo range.
Oh, she's on a heater.
Wow.
Officially scorching this front.
Moving on to the last hole of our front 9. Par 3, 420 feet out of this gap. Pretty straightforward for, the first half of the drive, but these trees in the second half of this fairway, very low ceiling, really force you to try to get to the ground and get some ground play in order to skip up toward the green. Really challenging par 3, very hard to get inside circle 2. Give yourself a look. Looks like Jen's going with, I think, that red destroyer that she keeps throwing.
Oh, we're gonna have to dodge.
And
My God,
she
that's so
is
Past the pin.
circle's edge long.
Unreal.
That's looking like a 450-foot shot from Jen Allen.
She threw. It's in the air. Okay.
And a good shot from Holland. Looks like she's getting to the edge of the circle, but on that front left side.
Yeah, that was her Tour Series Vulture again.
She really is throwing that disc off the tee a lot out here.
Rebecca going Fusion Raider. Needs a little love on that right side.
Looks like that gets through in front of those two really big guardian trees in the middle of the fairway. That looks nice for Maria. Getting a bit of a tree reaction, but again, down there.
Such a fine line. That was great speed. She went to Emperor. Great angle. It just didn't have that perfect height, and that is one of the factors you need if you're going to get into circle one here. No.
Oh. Maria with double low ceiling there, trying to spin it out into circle one. Holland with a bit of a... Oh.
Jen's going to go 5 down on the front, Ella, and she didn't connect on any putts from distance.
She's just parking everything.
And a good cleanup there for Maria.
Oh, tough one for Rebecca. And that's going to feel pretty disappointing. So Holland tapping in for par, Jen tapping in for par. Yeah, Jen 5 down on the front 9, taking the lead from Holland. Taking 2-stroke lead. What a, phenomenal throwing
Yeah.
show from Jen on this front 9.
Absolutely. What an inspiration she is. And amazing day, a memorable day out here at Milo McIver State Park. And thank you guys for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the new layout. Let us know what you think of the commentary and the work that these guys are doing to bring you this free coverage here on YouTube. From Nate Perkins and Ella Hansen, we will see you guys soon for part 2.